There's a sealed folder in every furniture store manager's desk. It's the complaint log nobody talks about publicly. Lawsuits over coffee tables, refund demands for haunted bed frames, customers blaming sofas for failed marriages. We pulled 67 of these on-the-record meltdowns and decoded what really happened, what the industry actually allows, and why these people slept fine that night. 1. A Phoenix woman once strolled into Ashley Furniture carrying her chihuahua, like a Pantone swatch, demanding a sectional that complements the dog's fur tones. The rep, bless him, suggested taupe. She erupted. Taupe apparently is racist toward beige animals. She returned 3 times that week, dog in tow, before being politely banned. The design floor needed therapy. The chihuahua, by all accounts, remained neutral throughout the entire ordeal. 2. Weight ratings on furniture exist for a reason, and that reason is named Greg. Greg, 340 pounds, plopped onto a lazy boy display recliner, clearly marked "Do Not Sit." The chair, rated for $250, did what physics demanded. Greg then sued for emotional distress. Recliners aren't suggestions, they're load-bearing engineering. The store sent him a calm letter with the weight sticker circled in red. Case closed. 3. One Florida woman returned her mattress to Mattress Firm after 7 years, insisting it had lost its soul. She left a 1-star review accusing the brand of selling biodegradable beds without disclosure. Every mattress degrades. That's why warranties have expiration dates, usually 10 years, and why your spine isn't what it was in 2017 either. 4. Measuring a doorway takes 10 seconds. A Brooklyn guy decided that step was beneath him, ordered an 8-foot sectional, then demanded the delivery crew remove his door frame, repaint the walls, and rebuild everything afterward. Delivery contracts end at the threshold. Anything beyond requires a contractor, insurance, sometimes a permit. The couch sat in his apartment lobby for 3 days, while he filed complaints titled "Sofa Held Hostage." Eventually, the building super charged him a storage fee. 5. A customer shredded her own white leather couch by letting her cat treat it like a scratching post for 7 days straight. Then demanded Rooms to Go refund the couch and pay the vet bill because the cat broke a claw doing it. Leather isn't cat-proof. Nothing is cat-proof. That's why God invented scratching posts. The store, exhausted, gave her store credit just to end the saga. 6. There's a special breed of customer who thinks logistics bends to wedding photography. Case in point, a Texas bride demanded West Elm intercept her sofa mid-shipment, redye it from gray to blush pink, and deliver it within 12 hours because her photographer said gray wouldn't pop on Instagram. Custom upholstery takes 6 to 8 weeks minimum. Fabric doesn't change color in transit. Neither does reality. She accused the brand of ruining her aesthetic vision, which, fair enough, was already in trouble. 7. SKUs are not prices. Repeat it like a prayer. A man at Bob's Discount Furniture in New Jersey pointed at a coffee table marked $900 and demanded the staff sell it for $50 because the inventory code on the floor sticker happened to be 50. He threatened a truth in advertising lawsuit. The manager, very patiently, explained the difference between a price tag and a tracking number. He left Googling consumer protection attorneys loudly. 8. A Michigan couple disassembled an entire bunk bed themselves, threw every screw, rail, and slat into a single trash bag, and shipped it back to Wayfair expecting a full refund. The warehouse photographed it. Furniture roadkill. Wayfair's policy is crystal clear. Original packaging, original condition. They denied the refund. The couple then launched a social media campaign accusing Wayfair of fraud, complete with photos of the bag. The internet, mercifully, sided with the warehouse. 9. An Arizona vacationer walked into an LA Pottery Barn, picked a $6,000 dining set, and demanded free shipping to Hawaii. Oceanic freight to the islands runs about $2,000, container ships, customs paperwork, weeks of transit. It's not a UPS van situation. She called it geographical discrimination. 10. Off-gassing is the chemical process where new furniture releases trace solvents into the air for a few weeks. Totally normal, totally regulated, totally not a defect. A Seattle customer returned her crate and barrel linen sofa because it smelled too new. She wanted them to age it artificially and redeliver it smelling like an old French library. The store suggested airing it out. She insisted they spray it with vintage book scent. The store, somehow keeping a straight face, declined. Her review called the brand olfactorily lazy. 11. A Tennessee guy strolled into Ethan Allen demanding a 12-foot sectional at the stock 8-foot price because, his exact words, tall homes shouldn't be punished. Custom builds involve separate fabric cuts, frame engineering, extra hours of labor. Furniture isn't a vending machine, and length isn't free. He stormed off, promising to report them to the Small Space Lobby. That, for the record, is not a real organization. It is, however, a fantastic band name. 12. An elderly Pennsylvania woman brought a tiny fabric square from her 1984 couch to Haverty's and demanded they recreate the exact upholstery for a brand new sofa. The original North Carolina mill closed in 1998. Textile lines typically cycle every 5 to 10 years max. Heritage doesn't override the timeline of industrial production. She accused them of not caring about American history. Last sighting, she was still on her swatch quest, hitting every furniture store in 3 counties. 13. Hotels spend serious money making beds feel like clouds. 500 thread count sheets change daily, custom toppers, climate-controlled rooms, weighted duvets. So when a Miami businessman complained his $5,000 Tempur-Pedic didn't feel like the Ritz-Carlton, he was right, technically. It also wasn't supposed to. He demanded the store fly out a Ritz mattress consultant for a side-by-side comparison. He returned the bed instead. The Ritz, presumably, is still unbothered. 14. Holloway covers one item, same category. Like for like. That's industry standard. So when an Indiana family demanded the Big Lots delivery guys take their old couch, a broken treadmill, 2 attic mattresses, and a dead fridge, the answer was a polite but firm no. They accused the company of abandoning them in their hour of need. Their hour stretched into a second week. The fridge, last I heard, is still on the porch. 15. A Louisiana woman returned an antique-style bed frame to a boutique shop, swearing it was haunted because her dog refused to sleep on it. She wanted a refund plus reimbursement for a priest. Dogs avoid new furniture all the time. Unfamiliar smells, weird textures, foreign shapes. It's not the supernatural, it's a corgi. The shop took the bed back. They did not, however, pay for the exorcism. Her review thanked them for respecting the spiritual realm. 16. Imagine being a delivery driver in Atlanta in August. 100-degree heat, 60-pound furniture, 10 hours straight. Now imagine a customer refusing the delivery because you weren't smiling enough. That happened. The man demanded the driver be fired, retrained, replaced. The store sent a different crew next day. He then complained the new guy was smiling too much and seemed suspicious. Some people aren't shopping for furniture. They're shopping for a target. 17. Small End is not a daycare. It's a supervised play area with strict age, time, and parent presence rules designed for liability. A mother of 4 in Burbank apparently missed that memo, dumped her kids in the ball pit, and vanished into the showroom for 2 hours. Security paged her over the loudspeaker. She emerged with 3 Billy bookcases, completely unbothered, and complained later that IKEA interrupted her shopping experience. 18. Comfort, it turns out, can be a liability. An Oklahoma man returned his recliner to American Furniture Warehouse claiming it was too comfortable. He'd been falling asleep in it nightly, missed work twice, and blamed the chair for nearly costing him his job. He demanded a refund and lost wages. Recliners are literally engineered for napping. That's the entire pitch. They refunded him. He bought a wooden kitchen chair instead. Dignity apparently requires lumbar pain. 19. Lifetime warranties exist on heirloom pieces. Stickley, Hancock, and Moore, the $3,000 and-up crowd, not $200 Target accent chairs. A Las Vegas woman called the store weekly demanding a lifetime extension because she really loved her chair. Loving something doesn't change the warranty tier. Manufacturing covers what manufacturing covers, usually 1 year. They said no for 6 months straight. She kept calling. The persistence was honestly impressive. 20. A first-time shopper at Raymore and Flanigan demanded a 15% loyalty discount on day 1 because she felt loyal already. Loyalty programs require, history. Past purchases, account activity, accumulated points, not vibes. She came back the next day claiming today's visit was her second loyal interaction. By visit 4, she was calling herself a VIP. 21. Floor models are sold as is because hundreds of strangers have sat, leaned, napped, and occasionally spilled lattes on them. The damage isn't hidden, it's the entire reason for the discount. A Denver man bought a scuffed clearance couch for $800 off and then demanded a full 10-year warranty, identical to a brand new piece. The store said no. He filed a BBB complaint. The BBB sided with the store. Logic occasionally still wins. 22. Solid oak weighs what solid oak weighs. A Boston woman called her new dining table discriminatorily heavy because she couldn't move it alone. She demanded the store assign her a personal mover for any future rearranging. Solid hardwood tables hit 200 pounds easy. That's why they last a century. The lighter option is called particle board, and it lasts about 4 moves. The store suggested furniture sliders. $8, hardware store. She called the suggestion insulting. 23. A retired San Diego couple invited the living spaces crew inside, then asked them to also rearrange the entire living room, relocate a piano, and hang 3 pictures. Delivery teams deliver. That's where the contract ends. Pianos specifically require specialty movers, $300 to $500 minimum, because dropping one is a workers' comp nightmare. The team politely declined. The wife offered cookies as compensation. They declined those too. Her review called them cold and unwelcoming. 24. Price matching has rules. Identical SKU, same seller type, current pricing, screenshot proof. You can't stack it with additional discounts just because you found something cheaper somewhere else. A Houston shopper demanded Macy's match Amazon's sectional price and give him an extra 15% off because Amazon is more convenient. Furniture margins are already thin, 30 to 40% on a good day. Matching the price meant zero profit. Adding 15% meant a loss. 25. Final sale on special orders exists for one specific reason, and that reason walked into a New York showroom, ordered a velvet sofa in sunset coral, signed the swatch approval form, took delivery 6 weeks later, and immediately demanded a refund because the couch was too coral. She wanted sunset coral, but less coral. The swatch she signed was, in fact, the exact color delivered. She left a 1-star review titled Misled by Pigment. 26. There's a category of customer who treats furniture stores like Build-A-Bear. A San Francisco guy walked into Restoration Hardware and demanded they deconstruct a finished leather chair so he could watch it being made. Restoration Hardware doesn't manufacture on site. Their pieces come from factories in North Carolina, Italy, and Vietnam. The showroom is a showroom. He called this deceptive transparency theater. 27. A Vermont customer returned a butcher block kitchen island, claiming it was too rustic. She'd specifically ordered the rustic finish. The order form signed said rustic. The product photo was rustic. The description used the word rustic 6 times. She insisted the store didn't explain what rustic meant in modern times. The store refunded her anyway, because arguing about adjectives is how employees age 20 years in one shift. 28. Sleeper sofas have a metal bar across your spine on purpose. They're built for occasional guest use, 2 or 3 nights at a time, not nightly sleep. A Chicago man missed that distinction, used his sleeper sofa for 8 straight months while his in-laws crashed with him, then returned it claiming it wasn't comfortable for daily sleep. He demanded reimbursement for his father-in-law's chiropractor visits. The store, hilariously, declined to fund the family's spinal grievances. 29. Glass tables and toddlers do not coexist peacefully. A Missouri mom bought a glass-top dining table, watched her 4-year-old climb it within a week, and naturally, the glass shattered. She sued the store for not warning her about children. The product page, the in-store tag, and the warranty paperwork all included child safety language. Tempered glass is safety rated, not toddler rated. The case got dismissed before lunch. 30. A woman in Maine called Pier 1 before they collapsed, demanding they exchange her sun-faded curtains for the original color. The curtains had been hanging in direct south-facing sunlight for 4 years. UV degrades dyes. It's why museums dim their lights. It's why your dashboard cracks. The store didn't exist anymore by the time she filed her third complaint, which probably explains a lot about Pier 1's final years. 31. Some complaints reveal accidental genius. A college student returned a futon to Walmart claiming it made him too lazy to study. He failed 2 midterms, blamed the futon, demanded a refund plus tutoring reimbursement. Walmart's return window is 90 days on furniture, no questions asked, so he actually got his money back. The tutoring part, not so much. 32. A Connecticut homeowner ordered a custom-built ins package, $12,000, then refused final installation because the contractor wasn't aesthetically pleasing. She wanted a different installer. The company explained that craftsmen are hired for skill, not modeling potential. She insisted on what she called visual harmony between the human and the bookshelf. They sent a second guy. She rejected him too. The third installer wore sunglasses indoors. She approved. 33. Memory foam remembers heat, not grudges. A Colorado man returned his mattress after 1 week, complaining it judged him by retaining his body shape. That's literally the entire selling point of memory foam. The material was invented by NASA in the 1960s for astronaut crash protection. It contours, then bounces back. It does not, despite his claims, store opinions about its owner. The store explained the science. He left convinced his mattress had been spying. 34. A Dallas couple ordered a sectional in a fabric called beige with gray undertones. Industry standard, sold by every major retailer. When it arrived, they declared it neither beige nor gray, just disappointing. Beige is the most requested neutral in American furniture. Has been for a decade. The swatch they approved matched the delivered piece exactly. They demanded a remake in real beige. Real beige, as anyone in textiles will tell you, is also subjective. 35. A Nevada man bought a hammock chair, mounted it from his second-floor ceiling joist using 2 drywall anchors rated for 15 pounds, sat down at 220 pounds himself, and ate his ceiling. He then sued the store for not specifying anchor requirements. The instructions ran 3 pages. Page 1 in bold print said locate a structural beam. He skipped straight to page 3. Drywall anchors hold about 10 pounds each. Math is brutal that way. 36. Customer service reps at Williams-Sonoma home once got a call from a woman demanding they identify the breed of horse used in her leather ottoman. It wasn't horse, it was cowhide. She insisted she could feel the horse energy. Cattle and horses produce structurally different leather. Horsehide is rare, expensive, and primarily used in high-end boots and watch straps. The rep gently confirmed the source. She remained unconvinced. 37. A New Jersey shopper bought a discontinued floor lamp on clearance, took it home, then returned 3 months later demanding a matching pair for symmetry. Discontinued means discontinued. The factory stops production, distributors clear inventory, and that's it. There is no warehouse of secret reserve stock. She filed a complaint with the corporate office claiming the store weaponized scarcity against interior designers. 18. Comfort, it turns out, can be a liability. An Oklahoma man returned his recliner to American Furniture Warehouse claiming it was too comfortable. He'd been falling asleep in it nightly, missed work twice, and blamed the chair for nearly costing him his job. He demanded a refund and lost wages. Recliners are literally engineered for napping. That's the entire pitch. They refunded him. He bought a wooden kitchen chair instead. Dignity apparently requires lumbar pain. 19. Lifetime warranties exist on heirloom pieces. Stickley, Hancock, and more. The $3,000 and-up crowd, not $200 Target accent chairs. A Las Vegas woman called the store weekly demanding a lifetime extension because she really loved her chair. Loving something doesn't change the warranty tier. Manufacturing covers what manufacturing covers, usually 1 year. They said no for 6 months straight. She kept calling. The persistence was honestly impressive. 40. A retiree in Florida tried to return a recliner 40 years after purchase, original receipt in hand, demanding a full refund under what he called lifetime satisfaction. Lifetime warranties cover defects, not buyer's remorse, and definitely not 4 decades of accumulated regret. The store he bought it from had changed ownership twice. He stormed out calling capitalism fundamentally dishonest. His wife, behind him, mouthed an apology to the entire showroom. 41. One Ohio customer demanded a furniture store remove a creepy floor lamp from their display because it was watching her across the showroom. The lamp had two adjustable arms. She interpreted them as eyes. Anthropomorphizing inanimate objects is actually a documented psychological response called pareidolia, the same thing that makes you see faces in clouds. The store moved the lamp. She felt vindicated. The lamp presumably felt nothing. 42. A Georgia man bought a king-sized headboard online, installed it on a queen frame, and called the store furious that the pieces didn't match. Headboards are sized to mattresses, not magic. King is 76 inches wide, queen is 60. There's a 16-inch gap that no amount of complaining will close. He demanded the company send a size conversion specialist. That, of course, is not a real job. 43. A Brooklyn customer returned a vintage-style dresser because it wasn't actually vintage. It was sold as vintage style. Two words doing very different jobs. Vintage means genuinely old, usually 50-plus years. Vintage style means manufactured last Tuesday to look old. The product description used the word style 3 times. She still felt deceived. The store offered a partial refund. She refused, demanding emotional damages for aesthetic betrayal. 44. There's a reason mattress stores have those 90-night trials. A Pennsylvania couple slept on theirs for 89 days, returned it on day 90, then immediately bought another mattress from the same store using the same trial. They did this 4 times across an entire year. Free sleep, essentially. The store, eventually, blacklisted them from the trial program. Trial policies exist on trust. Trust, it turns out, has a limit. 45. A California woman demanded an upholstery store change the direction of the wood grain on her custom dining table because it flowed the wrong way energetically. Wood grain follows tree growth. The tree decides, not the carpenter. Changing the grain direction requires a different tree. She suggested they consult a different forest. That sentence, real and recorded, lives on in the company's customer service training materials forever. 46. One Tennessee customer ordered a sectional, received it, loved it, then called 2 weeks later demanding the store come retrieve it because she fell out of love. Furniture isn't a relationship status. Return windows on opened, used pieces are usually 30 days, sometimes shorter, and require restocking fees. The store offered her a cleaning service or a swap. She wanted a full refund and an apology. The couch stayed. Love apparently didn't. 47. Sectional configuration mistakes are a special kind of pain. A Wisconsin couple ordered a left-facing chaise sectional. The L points right when you face the couch from the room. They received exactly that. They claimed it was backwards because they were standing behind the couch when they pictured it in their heads. Left and right are defined by sitting position, industry-wide. The reconfiguration fee was $300. They paid it, reluctantly, while arguing about cardinal directions. 48. A Salt Lake City man complained to IKEA that his Poang chair didn't bounce enough. The Poang's signature feature is a flexible bentwood frame that gently bounces. It has been in production since 1976, sold in tens of millions of units worldwide. His complaint was that he wanted more bounce like a trampoline. The Poang is not a trampoline. Trampolines exist. They're sold elsewhere. The store, kindly, pointed him toward sporting goods. 49. A Boston interior designer threatened to sue Crate & Barrel because her client's living room photos didn't look like the catalog. Catalogs are styled with professional lighting, color grading, stylists, and post-production. Real homes have ceiling fans and dog hair. The gap between Pinterest and reality is industry-wide and well-documented. The designer demanded a visual match guarantee, which is not a thing anyone offers. Her lawsuit went nowhere. 50. A Minnesota customer returned a bar stool set because the bar height was wrong for her bar. Bar stools come in 3 standard heights. Counter, 24 inches. Bar, 29. Spectator, 34. She'd measured her bar incorrectly, ordered counter when she needed bar, then blamed the store for confusing categories. The product page had a measurement guide with a diagram. She admitted she'd skipped it. She still wanted free exchange shipping. 51. Big chains run loss leaders, stuff sold at or below cost just to get foot traffic. A Texas shopper figured out a Black Friday recliner was priced below wholesale, bought 12 of them, and tried to resell them on Facebook Marketplace. The store has purchase limits on doorbusters, usually 2 per household. They canceled 10 of his orders. He sued for anti-bulk discrimination. That, like many of his ideas, is not a legal concept. 52. A guy in Oregon walked into Pottery Barn carrying a single oak leaf and demanded they match their entire furniture line to this specific shade of autumn. Pottery Barn does not custom dye their inventory to seasonal foliage. The leaf, by the time he reached the second store, had already begun changing color itself, which raises philosophical questions about what shade he was even chasing. He left more confused than when he arrived. 53. There's a scam where customers buy furniture, photograph minor defects, then demand massive refunds while keeping the piece. It's called wardrobing in retail circles, costs the industry billions annually. A repeat offender in Arizona did this 7 times at 4 different stores before the network caught on. Furniture chains share blacklists now through services like the Retail Equation. He's been banned across 47 brands. 54. One Florida woman called West Elm demanding they uncurl her bouclé chair because the texture was too active. Bouclé is literally defined by curled loops. It's French for looped. The texture is the entire identity of the fabric. Asking for uncurled bouclé is asking for not bouclé. The store recommended a different fabric. She insisted she wanted bouclé, just calmer. There is no calm bouclé. That's like asking for dry water. 55. A Vermont buyer returned an electric fireplace insert because it didn't crackle convincingly. Electric fireplaces simulate fire visually using LEDs and reflective discs. Some include speakers with pre-recorded crackling. Hers had basic mode, no audio. The product description listed exactly which features it had. She wanted real wood acoustic authenticity from a plug-in device. That's called an actual fireplace. They cost 10 times more and require chimneys. 56. A Las Vegas customer demanded an outdoor patio set be indoor rated because she wanted to keep it in her dining room. Outdoor furniture uses weather-resistant materials, often heavier, and treated with sealants, sometimes off-gassing chemicals not recommended for poorly ventilated spaces. There's no indoor rating certification, but there are reasons indoor and outdoor pieces are categorized separately. She called the distinction arbitrary furniture segregation. The rep, mercifully, was on her last day. 57. Sofa legs are not welded on, they're bolted, and any homeowner can swap them in 5 minutes for under $30 at any Home Depot. A Kentucky woman didn't want to hear that. She spent 40 minutes arguing with a Bassett rep that her sofa's feet were ugly, demanding the manufacturer redesign and replace them personally. Bassett is headquartered in Virginia. They were not flying anyone to Kentucky to swap 4 wooden legs. 58. A Maryland family bought a dining set advertised as Seats 6, then complained when 6 adults didn't comfortably fit. Standard dining seating allows 24 inches per person. 6 people need a table at least 72 inches long. Theirs was 66, marketed honestly as comfortably seats 4, accommodates 6. Comfortably and accommodates are doing different jobs. They demanded a bigger table at the same price. The store offered a discount. They demanded the moon. 59. An Idaho woman returned a bookshelf to her local store because, and this one's a keeper, it encouraged her husband to read too much. She felt the shelf made him intellectually distant. The store offered store credit and very kindly did not engage with the marital subtext. Reading generally is not a manufacturing defect. Bookshelves cannot scientifically alter literacy levels. She bought a TV stand instead. Problem solved, presumably. 60. Modular sectionals are designed for reconfiguration. That's the entire selling point. A Sacramento buyer ordered a 6-piece modular, then complained when the sections didn't lock together permanently. Locking them permanently turns a modular sectional into a regular sectional, which is a completely different product, usually $200 cheaper. She demanded the store add hidden bolts anyway. Adding bolts defeats the modular concept entirely. The salesperson tried explaining with hand gestures. It did not land. 61. Construction shortcuts catch up with everyone. A Houston shopper bought the cheapest particle board entertainment center on the market, loaded it with a 120-pound TV, and watched the entire thing collapse within a month. He sued for structural deception. Weight ratings were printed on the assembly manual, on the box, and online. 80 pounds maximum. He doubled it. The court documents make for incredible reading. 62. A New Mexico buyer ordered a custom sofa, picked the legs separately, then complained the sofa didn't include the legs she also paid for. The legs were in a separate box, clearly labeled, included in the original delivery. She'd put the box in her garage and forgotten. 3 weeks of complaints later, her husband found the legs while looking for jumper cables. She did not apologize. She demanded compensation for logistical confusion. 63. One Alabama customer returned a leather sofa after her grandkids spilled grape juice across all 3 cushions. She demanded a refund, claiming the leather was not stain-proof as advertised. Leather is stain-resistant, not stain-proof. Those are 2 different claims governed by different industry standards. The product page used resistant specifically. She accused the brand of linguistic trickery. Resistant means it resists. Proof means impossible. English does the heavy lifting here. 64. A Michigan man called a furniture store demanding they recreate a couch he saw in a 1994 Sears catalog. Sears no longer exists as a major furniture retailer, having sold off most divisions in the 2000s. The specific manufacturer that made his nostalgic couch closed in 2003. Some things just live in memory. The store offered similar contemporary styles. He called this modernity's tyranny over comfort. Poetic, honestly. 65. A South Carolina woman bought a rocking chair and complained in writing that it rocked too much. Rocking chairs rock. That's the verb in the name. She wanted a rocking chair that doesn't rock when you don't want it to. The store gently explained that's called a regular chair. She insisted those 2 products should be combined into one. Chair technology, currently, has not solved selective rocking. Patents pending, presumably forever. 66. A Las Vegas hotel decorator tried to return 40 matching nightstands to a wholesale furniture supplier because they looked too similar. That was the order. 40 identical pieces for 40 identical hotel rooms. Uniformity was the spec, in writing, signed off twice. She demanded subtle variation, added retroactively. Modifying 40 finished pieces individually would cost more than the original order. The supplier said no. The decorator was, swiftly, no longer the decorator. 67. Imperfection is the entire point of handmade goods. A New York shopper missed that memo, dropped serious money on a Persian rug, then complained it had visible flaws. Persian and Oriental weavers traditionally include a deliberate irregularity in every piece, a concept called the humility knot, because only God creates perfection. It's tradition, not error. She demanded her rug be fixed. The store explained the cultural significance. She still felt cheated. Some lessons cost extra. 67 complaints, 0 of them improved by talking to a manager. Here's your assignment. Name 1 item in your house right now that you would absolutely return today using the dumbest excuse on this list. Hit like if a single story made you say, "I've met this person." Subscribe before the next batch drops.